Yeah.
your eye would only see
Right.
one at a time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty intriguing also.
It's kind of built into the concept.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I think that precludes me from doing a projector, though, because you
Right.
have this curvature.
Mm-hmm.
And
So what's your timetable on all this stuff?
about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, this is a sponsored video I'm doing for Element 14. So these chip vendors and chip companies are coming to me, and they're a little bit confused how to reach engineers. They make these really dry, boring videos about, this is our chip, it has 32 pins, and for years now I've been making just kind of crazy videos where I take some part and abuse it in some way it wasn't supposed to be used.
Right.
Make a video game out of it or something, and so now I'm having some sponsors come to me and ask me to...
Can you abuse our chips, please?
Yeah, exactly. Or at least make it a little more
Worst subject line ever in an email.
Yeah.
Right into spam. Abuse our chips. What? Oh.
Exactly. I don't know. I have thousands of little projects in flight. I'm working on a pinball controller right now, so I have... I've been converting an old cocktail pinball, Roy Clark the Entertainer. So it's like a tabletop pinball machine. It's like the worst pinball machine ever. And I made a little board that has driver transistors to control the solenoids and lamps, and I'm doing some interesting things with that. Like I'm putting short circuit protection in it so I can detect if there's a short, which is a common problem in pinball machines.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm making it a distributed board system, so instead of having this big wiring harness that goes down to the playfield where the ball rolls around, it just has one ribbon cable. It goes to a board that breaks out and drives a couple solenoids in close proximity, and then there'll be another board closer to some other.
And those are the pinballs we're going to have in the basement of,
exactly.
of the
yeah.
cottage, or the whatever it's called.
I'm a pinball fanatic. I have a boatload
You're
of
a
them.
wizard. You're a pinball wizard.
Wizard.
You should write a song about that, Yeah. Just maybe. Maybe a really famous band can do it.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting at about 90 machines right now. It's
Really?
Yeah. I have a bunch
90?
of them around Portland, though. I put them out on location.
Okay.
It brings money in, so it's great. And
Have
it
you
feeds my
been
addiction.
have you been sucked into Portlandia yet?
Not yet. I'm sure they're going to do a show.
They'll need a
on it.
pinball show eventually.
They've got to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you guys talk, so we have to do an exact comment. But you can do a little thing with her. She wants to, did she show you her?
Yeah. We're actually
You already did it?
we've been doing
mailed it. You
it
missed
for
it.
20 minutes now.
Oh, good. Right on. Breaking Wind with Jeri and Friends. That's what you want to call it?
Yep.
Not
New
seeing his
show.
Leo in the background.
trying to sell Jeri on doing a show for us. Not easy. She's a tough sell.
Passing gas with Jeri.
It's a chromatography show.
I have bits and pieces of a quadrupole mass spectrum analyzer.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of
so
gas,
that could be a
chromatography.
segment in your show, passing gas. Let's
pass some gas into the column and
let's
see
see what we're looking at this week.
Well, the chat room's loving the idea of you doing a show.
Yeah, so
Laughing gas.
I'm loving the idea of you doing a show too.
Yeah, well, Leo and I have been talking about it for
Yeah.
years now, but it's like, how do I pull it off? I'm in Portland,
Right.
and I have this pinball business up there. It's kind of my security net.
Right.
I do design work, doing chip design, so I do that often out of Silicon Valley. But how do I make the move from doing these like kind of safe things into like a little bit riskier thing of making crazy videos every week for Leo?
Yeah. Believe me, I went through that exact calculus when I came here from CNET, because I was at a big company with big safety net, and then it was like, well, or go work in a little cottage up in Petaluma. But
I just moved across the country for this. Yeah,
yeah, you left PC Mag.
I left
to
PC
come here
Mag
too,
to
so.
come here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. I was there for about 100 days. I was like, hey, okay, I'll do this. I like video, though.
Oh, yeah?
I was writing before, and if those guys are watching, yeah, it's a good site, but the stuff I was doing was really... What's a nice way of saying this? Is there a nice way of saying?
Entry level?
Sure, that's a good way of saying it. It just was really...
Just mundane, kind of.
It was slideshows, like the stuff you click at lunch, like, hey, look, top 10, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh,
I see.
right.
That's part of my problem with chip design. I love doing it, but not very many companies will let you be very creative.
Yeah.
Usually they have a chip spec when you come in. They're like, this is what you're going to make. Don't deviate from it. And make really good money at it, but it's just mind-numbing.
I remember when we had you on Triangulation, you were talking a lot about the challenge and the difference between doing that versus just doing fun stuff.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of toy design, which was a lot of fun.
Right.
But that industry's been devastated in the last 4 or 5 years for many reasons.
Yeah.
But you used to do toy design?
Yeah. I think Leo has one of the toys somewhere over there. The only one that really took off was this Commodore 64 joystick.
I think it's in that case back there.
Maybe he threw it away. It's just a piece of junk.
Oh, yeah.
But I made some really lemons of toys. But
the Commodore 64 joystick was brilliant. It was the first of that kind of thing. There's like tons of...
No, Atari beat us to it.
Oh, really? Did Atari beat you? Or was it a Convergent
use this
Evolution thing?
Yeah. So it was Atari, and there might have been a couple others, and then the C64, and then just boatloads of those really bad ones that came out.
Now they're like...
SpongeBob SquarePants and Spider-Man
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, I hope you can figure out how to make the jump, because it'd be great to have you over here.
It would be fun.
I mean, you can move the pinball machines.
Yeah, but I have to... What do I do with my business? That's
You
the...
can move the business.
Okay. So
Piece of cake.
we just make an arcade in the basement of Twit?
Yeah.
There you go. You make a killing right there.
Are you kidding? You know that that theater that's across the street? There's there's a theater, like a punk rock theater, across the street from the new Twit studio, called the Phoenix.
Ooh.
And so it's like that's where all the punk rock shows come when they come through town, and
They love pinball.
well, yeah, I can totally see the kids that are hanging out there going and playing pinball before they go see the shows.
Ah.
You've got a built-in audience.
You're going to need a lot of protection, though, for those pinball machines, in
Yeah,
case those
busting the
punks,
glass in.
start whacking things around.
Well, they're we use the term punk loosely
Oh, yeah?
these days.
So what's the population around here? It doesn't look like that big of a
8,000, I
city.
think.
Yeah.
It's what?
8,000?
Oh, I thought it was 14,000.
Is it 14?
But anyway, yeah.
Well, maybe that's the difference between this town and my last
But
town.
that's that's 14,000 for Petaluma, but then Sonoma is a larger county, and you've got San
punks.
Francisco, you've got O'Reilly Publishing up the road.
I don't know. I'll have to try to figure it out.
Yeah,
I don't know. What would I do? That was the question. Currently...
whatever you want.
Okay. Well, currently I'm taking like an entire week or more to build a project, and then recording video and editing it. It takes like at least 2 weeks to put a video together. It's not
Sure.
like a regular...
Well, I think I'm not talking for Leo at this point. This is just the way I would do it. But I would say commission you to do a series. Like in a year, you do whatever number makes sense, like 10 episodes, and then they come out when they're done. And then in the meantime, you could do shorter, like little update versions in between. It's like, hey, then episode 15 is going to be my pinball controller. And this is where we are with it this week, and so you keep people interested.
Nothing like live negotiating while
Exactly.
streaming.
No, I don't
We're
know.
both wrong on Petaluma,
No.
by the way. 60,000 for it.
60,000.
That's what it says on Wikipedia. I thought it was
All right.
way smaller. Maybe it's greater Petaluma area.
Yeah, well, this isn't negotiation. This is just
It's the what?
This is just brainstorming.
Like 4 times as big as the old.
The east side is 4 times larger than the west side.
Yeah, if you look at it on like Google Maps, like
Google-
satellite view. you'll
Check
see-
Google Maps.
But it's only been in like the last 20 years that the east side was built up.
It was 14,000 20 years ago, I bet.
Well, I've been there for all of
My
let's see,
data's just
10
old.
days now, so I've got a lot to learn.
So they want to have a Jerry Springer style show. So if maybe in the basement I could have lots of like folding chairs, and we could
Right,
bring
that's not
in
permanent. It's not
people
workspace.
from the outskirts of
I
Petaluma.
thought you were an Android user. No, I'm an iOS user. And then horrible fights. Exactly.
Yes.
And then Jerry. See? Perfect.
Also, the question is,
I'm always meeting resistance.
What about sponsors, though? It's like the stuff that I do is like very niche-y and electronic.
You hear that,
scientist
Newegg?
stuff.
Yeah, but folks. I mean, folks in our chat room are going crazy just hearing you talk about it, being able to see it. They'd watch it, and then we have sponsors, so I'm not worried about that. They'll sponsor my show. They'll definitely sponsor your show.
But would Audible sponsor like Jerry's flamethrower?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, maybe, I don't know if Audible would, but somebody would. Slingbox or Carbonite or...
If you want to see it from far away, Slingbox.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'll have to come to him to get the
IA's
right...
got the ideas.
That's what I'm for. But yeah, I think Audible would work too. Just think of like chaotic books.
You can make anything.
Or like there's so many books.
What they like is they like the personal touch. So as long as you can, turn it into something like that.
I'm sure there are books on these topics.
You've seen Ben Heck's show, haven't you?
Oh yeah,
He's on 14, right? As well.
Yeah. I was just at his shop. We did a pretty fun little shootout there. I hop out of the car on my roller skates. I bust the door down. I go in there. I'm like, heckin' Dorn! And
Nice.
we go into this fight scene. And
I like it.
And that's
so,
why Ben Heck
keep
is
an
no
eye
longer.
open for that Ben Heck
That's
show.
why Ben
It's
Heck
gonna
is
be
no
good.
longer with us.
And that was last show.
Jeri has 200 crazy videos on YouTube already. What is she worried about? Portland? I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Are you from Portland originally?
that area, yeah, Oregon, small rural town, probably, well, smaller than this, more like 8,000.
Yeah, I'm from a
Culture
town
shock.
of 5,000.
I don't know. I've been struggling with, how do I make this move to doing this more full time? Because I enjoy this more.
And you could continue to do the videos for the chip design, or not chip design, but for the chip makers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something else that you.
Yeah, they let you have side projects here, which is nice. I had to negotiate last time. I'm like, can I still do my show? And they're like, yes. Here,
Maybe.
they're like, yeah, whatever you want.
Like, of course. I don't know. Chat room says you should move. So
You must listen to the masses of the 819 people
obviously.
saying. Well, 821.
Yeah, the chat room. They were the last time I was on here. They were talking about drowning kittens. So
Were you on NSFW or something?
I think that was forecast.
Oh, that's possible
it
too.
probably comes up every time they want me to drown kittens or something.
Please don't make her drown kittens. That's just stop that.
And if she was going to, she'd make a machine that would do it.
That's
Come on.
right. Make the move easy, or the kittens get drowned.
All right. Well, we should,
On that note.
now that we're killing kittens, we should probably go into a frame rate, because frame rate's supposed to be on at 4:00. And
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
out
yeah.
here
Thanks for coming in. I'm glad.
derailing everything.
No, there was nothing to derail. You actually railed things.
Oh.
We were sort of derailed. You gave us focus.
We were about to go into email.
You gave us something to talk about. I don't. But I would like us to go into frame rate, but I'm not sure if we can.
So is the frame rate 29.97 today? Or is it 24?
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. All right, it's going to be the maintenance show if we don't. I don't know. Is Leo coming back?
No, he's quit. It's over.
These are things we needed to do while we were live.
Oh, okay.
So,
No worries. We just ran out of things to say.
okay. So we'll go into reruns.
We're talking like
We
killing
have
animals.
last night's frame rate.
We started talking about drowning kittens.
That was a good
No.
point.
Stop that. Okay, so we're going to end our test. Oh, Burke.
Where's Burke?
Before we
Where's
go-
Burke? Somebody get Burke.
I thought I heard Burke in here. He wants to, before we go live, it's the program one into the back of the Omnia. You want to, we've connected and disconnected all of the things here. The only one we have is the RJ45 into the Omnia. Where's your flashlight? Did you pull the flashlight up? And it's the cable called program one. And
I can see the adapter right on this side. Oh wait, no, that's the other.
no, the adapter's underneath the table.
Actually, if you could just wiggle the.
We need to. Can you guys out there say? Oh, wow! Listen to that. If you guys could hear what I would hear, it would sound like the bad audio in our reruns. This is real fun. Talk. Try it out.